Welcome to Expose Affair. Please subscribe my channel for interesting affairs. The courtroom was sterile, quiet except for the echoes of decisions that would fracture lives. When the judge signed the final decree, it didn't feel like freedom. It felt like an execution. 13 years, 2 kids, a white picket fence, and countless promises collapsed with a gavel's thud. We didn't fight that morning. No last-minute pleas or teary breakdowns. We just stood there. Strangers in the skin of people who used to make love on Sunday mornings and laugh at midnight in the kitchen over ice cream. Hannah didn't look at me once. She just kept her eyes on the floor like it had the answers. Afterwards, I didn't go home. I couldn't bear the silence, or worse, the ghosts of us still clinging to the curtains, the photos, the scent of perfume that always lingered in the hallway. So I drove. No destination, no plan. I just needed to get away from the remains of my life. I ended up somewhere off Interstate 64, in a no-name town with a flickering gas station and a diner that looked like it hadn't changed its menu since 1983. That's where I saw the sign. Sunset Pines Motel, clean beds, no questions. It was the kind of place that didn't expect explanations. I parked my dusty Chevy, walked up to reception, and rang the bell. A woman emerged from the back room. Middle-aged, worn but not tired, with eyes that had seen too many secrets. Her name tag read Mara. She took one look at me, disheveled, empty-eyed, clutching a small duffel bag like a lifeline, and didn't ask for ID right away. Instead, she tilted her head, as if she could read the story written in the slump of my shoulders. And then, quietly, like she was offering me shelter in more ways than one, she said, "Room 7 has a stronger lock than the others. I think you'll sleep better there." I blinked. "What?" "Room 7, she repeated gently. "End of the row. Faces the trees, not the road. And the AC actually works." I nodded slowly. "Thanks." She slid the key across the desk. No forms. No rules. Just compassion. When I got to room 7, I dropped my bag and stared at the ceiling fan as it rotated with a dry squeak. The room smelled of lemon cleaner and a hint of mildew. The bed was stiff. The wallpaper peeled at the edges. But somehow, it felt safer than the house I'd left behind. I lay down but didn't sleep. My mind kept playing old clips, Hannah in her bathrobe, chasing the kids around the kitchen. Our last vacation to the Smokies. Her face the night she told me she didn't love me anymore. I got up around midnight and wandered outside. The trees rustled with the wind. Crickets sang songs of solitude. The glow from the front office light still flickered. I thought I saw Mara inside, scribbling something in a journal. I walked toward the diner across the street and ordered black coffee. The waitress looked too tired to ask questions. After an hour of staring into my mug, I went back to the motel. Mara was still at the desk when I returned. I hesitated, then asked, "How long have you worked here?" She gave a half smile. Long enough to know when someone needs a little silence more than sympathy. I chuckled weakly. "You always give room 7 to sad guys?" She looked at me, then reached into a drawer and pulled out a small, worn envelope. She held it for a moment, then passed it across the counter. "What's this?" I asked. "It's a letter someone left for me once. A man came in 3 years ago. Broken. Divorced just like you. He stayed one night. We didn't talk much. Next morning, he left a letter with his key. Said to give it to someone else who needed it." I opened it. The handwriting was shaky but clear. "If you're reading this, you probably think this is the end. But maybe, just maybe, it's the start of the version of you that you were always meant to become. The pain won't vanish overnight. The silence will be deafening at times. But use it. Fill it with rediscovery. The world didn't end. It just shifted, and in the space left behind, you get to rebuild. Take your time. Don't rush healing. And remember, not all endings are tragedies. Some are just a prologue to something better." I didn't realize I was crying until a tear dropped onto the note. I wiped it quickly, embarrassed. Mara said nothing, just watched with a kind of reverence. Like this had happened before. Like she was the guardian of lost men with broken rings and shattered hearts. I looked up at her. "Why do you do this? Why care?" She shrugged. "Because someone once did it for me. That night I slept, not perfectly, but enough. In the morning, I left the envelope on the nightstand in room 7, with a new note added at the bottom. If you're the next one to read this, know this. Yesterday doesn't own you. You get to choose who you become. One day, you'll thank this pain. I didn't believe it either, but I'm starting to. I handed the key to Mara and met her eyes. No need to say anything, she said. I nodded. Thank you for knowing I needed room 7. She smiled. We all need room 7 at some point. As I drove away from Sunset Pines, I didn't feel healed, but I felt something. And sometimes, something is enough to begin again. As I drove away from Sunset Pines, the sky was still waking up, soft streaks of gold brushing the edges of the horizon. I didn't know where I was headed, and for the first time in months, that thought didn't terrify me. Half a mile out, my phone buzzed. It was a text from Hannah. I hope you're okay. I didn't mean for it to end this way. I thought I'd feel relief, but all I feel is empty. I stared at it, not with anger, not even sadness, just clarity. I typed back, not out of spite, but peace. I'm okay. Room 7 helped. Take care of yourself, Hannah. Then I powered off the phone. I let the silence fill the car, not with pain, but with possibility. By noon, I was 2 towns over, sitting at a small cafe by a lake, sipping coffee that tasted nothing like home, and that was the point. I opened a blank journal I had shoved in my bag last minute and wrote 4 words across the top of the first page. This is day 1. As I looked up, the waitress came by. She had kind eyes and a curious smile. Refill? She asked. Sure, I said. She smiled again. You from around here? I hesitated, then smiled back. Not yet, but maybe soon. And just like that, the story of the man who lost everything began again, this time by choice.